And usually on Monday, we either do vocal warm-ups together or we do Q&A. And today we are going to do some Q&A. So I am here to answer any questions that you have in the realm of vocal technique, songwriting, and ear training. That's what today is all about. And it's also about, community and all that good stuff. So if you're hanging out on live today, make sure that you say what's up in the chat. I would love to say what's up back to you. Okay. And yeah, go ahead and get some questions ready. Okay. Today I'm taking all questions on vocal technique, songwriting, and ear training. Okay. But just in case this is your first time hanging out with me, you're coming across me for the first time. My name is Ashley Robin. I'm a singer, songwriter, producer, and I'm also a musicianship coach. And that last part means that whatever makes you fully the music creator you want to be, whether that's vocals, songwriting, ear training, or production, I can help you in all four of those areas. I am your girl. I've got 2 degrees in music performance. Let's see, I've got a bachelor's in classical performance and master's in jazz. I've been singing seriously, studying music for about 18 years now, and I've been teaching other people either about music or how to make music in different contexts, like for colleges, organizations, and of course on a one-to-one basis for about 13 years now. I'm a signed artist. I'm also signed as a sync artist to an agency called Atrium Music. I get called upon to, write songs, arrange vocals, do background vocals for, different events, broadcasts, etc., etc. I get called to run rehearsals. I get called to, just do all the things that make my life very, very full of music. And I am also the head Robin of the Robin's Nest, which is a virtual music academy for artists like you and me who are serious about succeeding at the craft. I've had the pleasure of coaching folks that work with people like Pharrell Williams, Lana Del Rey, Burna Boy, and every time you tune into the Robin's Nest Live, I'm your coach too. And so the Robin's Nest Live and the Robin's Nest period is meant to be a space where people like us can grow. Okay, it's all about growth. It's all about sharpening the craft and getting better at this thing that we love so much. Not just so that we can just, say that we're better and say that we're great, but so that we can express, so that we can connect, so that we can reach the people that we are meant to reach, that we're made to reach. Okay, I have a belief that all of us who love music and all of us who use music in such a way that we're able to tell our stories and ultimately tell the stories of so many other people and relate to so many people on so many levels. It's such a special privilege to be able to do that. And so if there's any way I can help you do it better, that's what I'm here for. That's literally what I am here for. So like I said earlier, we're doing Q&A. We are doing music coach Q&A. So if you have any questions about vocal technique, songwriting technique, or ear training, I'm here to answer those questions for you. Okay. But as y'all are getting your questions ready and you get your thoughts ready, I have a question for you. So throw your answer in the chat. I want to know, what's the last album you listened to? What is the last album that you listened to? The last album you were excited about and the last album that you checked out. Okay, that's my question for you. Throw it in the chat. What are you listening to right now? What's inspiring you right now? Okay, Cowboy Carter. Yeah. Hi, Aaliyah. Nice. So I think that came out, that came out last year, right? So is that the last album you listened to, like literally the last one you listened to, like you listened to it yesterday? Or like, is that the newest album you listened to? I think it's the last one. It's not the newest, it's the last, right? It's not the newest, it's the last one. So what inspires you about that? What inspires you about Cowboy Carter? Okay. And if you're just joining me, we're doing Music Coach Q&A. So I'm answering all questions about vocal technique, songwriting, and ear training. But I'm starting off with my own question for y'all. And my question is, what's the last album you listened to? What's the last album that you listened to? If it inspires you at all, Aaliyah, what is it that inspires you about it? What do you enjoy about that album? It's like each song is a story. Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. That's one of the missions of songwriting, right? It is to tell stories. It's to convey information. And depending on, your purpose, it's just you got to know why you're writing the song that you're writing. So some songs are fun. Some songs are meant to be entertaining. They're just meant to be a fun distraction, perhaps, like a diversion, right? Some songs are like that. Some songs are meant to tell a story. It's meant to take you from one place in, a chain of events to the next, right? And some albums are constructed that way. Like the entire album is one cohesive story. Yeah, I'm working on that too. So Aaliyah, what would you say is the most challenging part of making your songs a story? Hello. Hi, what's going on, Too Fast, Too Furious? Good to see you. That's very kind of you. I am doing well. And Akona, hi. Last night you listened to some... Ooh, good one. Yeah, there's never a bad reason to pull out the Stevie Wonder. You listened to the whole thing, huh? What's your favorite song on that album, Songs in the Key of Life? What's your favorite one? But yeah, I do think that it can be challenging. Yeah, but I think it can be challenging sometimes to get the story told in music. It's a lot going on, right? Because you're thinking about not only the story, like the what had happened was, like, what's the plot, right? You want to know what your plot is. Then from there, you want to make sure that you have a melody and a rhythm that's going to be compelling enough to get people to stay for the story, right? So when it comes to songwriting, what do you think comes first? What do you think is most important about a song when it's written? Do you think the melody is the most important thing, or do you think the lyrics are the most important thing? Sound off in the comments. What's more important, melody or lyrics? What do you think? What comes first? Yes, absolutely. That's how I started. That's how I started. Yeah, K. Brownie Lee. That's how I started. I got started on GarageBand. It's the perfect. Yeah, no problem. It is it's a great way to get started with production. Absolutely. To get started with songwriting as well and arranging. So if you're somebody who wants to learn how to do your vocal arrangements better, GarageBand is perfect for that. It is absolutely perfect. Okay, yeah, you got trouble not spilling all the beans at once. Okay, working up to the plot. Have you ever thought of your song structure, like each part of your song structure having a purpose? Right? How do you think about song structure, Aaliyah? And everybody can share. I'm asking everybody questions, but if you hear a question you want to answer, you can feel free to answer it too. Okay, is it Janira or Janira? I hope I'm saying it right. But you say melody is the most important. And thank you for the follow, by the way. So melody is the most important to you. And I'm going to pose that question again. What's more important, y'all? Is it the melody or is it the lyrics? What's the most important part of a song? Oh my gosh, Akona, those are my favorites. Those are my favorites too. I love Summer Soft, As, I Wish, Sir Duke. Those are my favorites as well. I also really love Love's in Need. That's classic. And If It's Magic. If It's Magic is one of the most beautiful songs ever. But like how I'm surprised you even, were able to choose, because Songs in the Key of Life is like banger after banger. Banger after banger. Okay, so we got 2 for melody. Okay, 2 for melody. Yes, melody and lyrics are important, but which do you think is more important? Okay, what's the best way to structure your lyrics and melody together? Okay, I'm going to see if I can try to answer that question. That's the sort of thing I teach my nesters on the inside of the Robin's Nest, but I'm going to see if I can answer that question. Hold on. Let me just get everybody's ideas about melody versus lyrics. What's the most important? I'm not sure I would say the melody because people don't remember the lyrics correctly, but the melody. Right? Yeah. Maurice, you say both, but one of them has to win. One of them has to win. One of them has to take priority. Okay. D Melodaro. I have an artist that I'm working with. She's amazing, but I feel like she needs a coach. I am willing. DM me. Okay. And ooh, Georgia Smith. Reimagined. I have not heard of that one. Hello, Yana. Melody is king. Lyrics girl through and through. I care about content because to me it's like, okay, what are we saying? What are we repeating? What are we singing? So lyrics are very important to me. But I have to be straight up. As a songwriter, I have to be straight up. As a songwriter as well, we get very like our lyrics mean so much to us because we work so hard to craft them. But if we're honest, the melody comes first. Because in order for people to reach to get to the story or the message that's in your music, they have to want to listen to it first. And the first thing that tells you whether you want to listen to a whole song is the way that the melody moves, right? I would say it's a combination of the melody and the rhythm of the words, because it's not even what you're saying, it's how it's said, right? So lyrics are important, but they have to be set properly, rhythmically and melodically, in order for people to really stick around and hear the story, right? And so melody is the vehicle that carries the story. Yeah, so I would have to say that if we're ranking the two, right, I think a strong melody, unfortunately, a strong melody can save a bad song, okay? But I don't think that good lyrics can save a bad melody. So that's my opinion. That's my opinion. As a songwriter and as a coach, that's my opinion. My humble opinion. Hi, Ashley. Good to see you. And yes, Love the Need is also, it's a great one. Okay, so I don't know if Kay Brownie is still here. I'm gonna attempt to answer their question now. So you said, what's the best way to structure your lyrics? And also, me and Aaliyah were talking about this as well. So when you think about writing a song, you want to remember that each part of the song has a function. You got verses, you got chorus, and you have, if you're feeling fancy, you got a bridge, you got a vamp, perhaps, a drive of some kind, right? So each of those parts of song structure has a thing that it is, really, really inclined to do. I don't think that was the best way to say it. But for instance, I like to look at songwriting as almost like parts of an essay. I mean, honestly, that's where the academic thought process ends. But when you're writing an essay, right, or even if you're writing a story, there's things that you have to make sure are present, right? So in the case of an essay, you have to make sure that your thesis is clear, right? And so to me, a thesis and a chorus or a hook, they're very similar, because the hook of the song is the point of the song. Like, it's the thing that the whole song is built around. It's like the centerpiece of the song, right? So you really want to be clear on what your whole entire song is about, and you want to find the right words to couch that information. Like, what's the best way to sum up the whole idea of this song that I'm writing or that I'm singing, right? So there's that. Your chorus is like your thesis, right? Your verses are like your introduction and your body paragraph, right? So in the introduction, you set the scene, you start to allow the reader to follow your logic. All that sort of stuff happens in verse 1. Then in your body paragraph, you give us all the receipts. What are all the details? What are all the things that prove the point of the chorus, right? Or what are all the things that support the feelings that you're expressing in the chorus? What are the details, right? Tell the story. What's the tea? Tell the story. Air it out. What are the receipts, right? That's a great thing to do in verse 2, right? So verse 1 is like your intro, your introduction, your introductory paragraph. Verse 2 is like details. Like, these are all the reasons that I feel this way, or these are all the reasons that, I'm thinking about whatever the point of the chorus is, right? And then I would say, if you do a bridge, good morning, Tay. If you do a bridge, then the bridge is kind of like your conclusion paragraph, right? So in your conclusion, if your conclusion is written well, right? If you don't go, in conclusion, all the things that I said, blah, 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 blah. Like if you really make a well-crafted conclusion, it's almost like you're gonna tell us about like what are the implications of everything you just explained, right? So in all the research that you did, like I'm speaking academically, what's the result of all the research that's been done on this topic that you just spent, however many pages illuminating for us, right? So I would say that when you write your bridge, you can use your bridge as like a okay, so what does all this mean? Where does all of this take us? But ultimately, when you write a bridge, the bridge is the part of the song that, unless you are writing a CCM song, the bridge is a part of the song that you only hear once, right? So the melody of the bridge is unique. You only hear it one time. The lyrics in the bridge are unique. You only hear it one time. The verses, you get different information in your first and your second verse, but the melody is the same for the most part, or similar, right? And the chorus you hear over and over and over again, but the bridge is something that you only hear one time. So it's almost like you have to like lock in and give us the last big piece of information that will drive the point home. Exactly, Tay. Yeah, that's the part of the song that really says, okay, these are all the things that I said. These are all the things I'm feeling, the things I'm seeing. And this bridge sums it up very, very well. Okay. So yeah, think of your songs. I think it's helpful if you're having trouble, like seeing how to write a whole song. You're feeling like maybe you're giving up too much up front or whatever have you as you tell the story. Try to separate your song parts and think about the purpose of every part of the song, right? So again, our verses give us details, and I think the best way to do the verse is like verse 1, give us backstory, like set the scene. Where are we at? Who are the characters? Verse 2, give us details, more details. That's really going to help us to put ourselves in your shoes. Because when you write a song, the thing that you want the most is for the people who listen to be able to identify with what you're saying, right? Even if they haven't had the same experience verbatim as you want them to be able to find themselves in the song. That's the thing that makes people sing songs and remember songs and play songs over and over and over again. It's because there's some element of the song that they want to identify with, or that they do identify with. There's something about the song that they want to wear, right? That they want to put on. And so you want to write your songs with that kind of mindset. Okay. Thank you for the follow, Ani. And thank you for the share. Appreciate it. And the hearts. Thank you for the hearts. But yeah, you want to make sure that that you are just being mindful of your listener. That's important too. I think as songwriters, we're very like, I have this thing in my heart that I really want to say and I really want to express it. And that's good. You should, but I guess particularly if you are someone who wants your songs to be like consumed by the masses, I'll put it that way. You really want to make sure that you structure your songs and you write your songs with your listeners in mind. If you don't care about, people gravitating towards your song, or, your song having a really big listenership, or then you don't really have to worry about that. But if you care about that, you do want to make sure that your music, that people can identify with the music that you write. And yeah, that's the way. That is the way. Okay, yeah. So I got into a nice conversation about songwriting there. But today is really all about y'all's questions. So does anybody have any questions? I'm answering all questions today on vocal technique, songwriting, and ear training. Today's Ask a Music Coach. What are some questions that you got? Throw me some questions in the chat. Or what have you been thinking about, right? I think the first question I asked everybody on the stream was, what's the last album you listened to? And what about that album inspires you? If anything, right? Maybe, we don't always listen to music to get inspired. Sometimes we listen to music because it's entertaining, So, but yeah, let me know. What music are you enjoying right now? And if you've got any questions about music making techniques, you can drop it in the chat, because that's what I'm here for today. That is why I am here. I'm thinking, or maybe I'll answer my own question. What's the last album I listened to? Ray's This Music May Contain Hope. Such a good album. Such a good album. And I think I like it for a similar reason. Aaliyah on TikTok, I don't know if she's still there, but she said that Cowboy Carter really is inspiring to her because of the storytelling. And the same thing is true for me with This Music May Contain Hope. It's like such a brilliant undertaking of just storytelling and details and painting and imagery. And she said, and so these are her words, not mine, like she did the most. She did the mostest for us, just big singing, big vocals, big instrumentation, big everything, big lyrics. There's a narrator. The album has a narrator. Right? So, just really, really well done, well crafted. So I'm really inspired by that album personally. I think my favorites on that one are Lifeboat, Nightingale Lane. Both of those songs make me cry. They make me weep. Lifeboat and Nightingale Lane are my two, like, let's see. I love Click Clack Symphony. I love it. I love, what's the other one? Skin and Bones. Skin and Bones is my song. I love Skin and Bones. I also love, what's the last song? It's not the one where she lists all the people who made the album. It's the one before it. Happier Times Ahead. I love Happier Times Ahead. That one's really beautiful too. So yeah, that album really, really inspired me, because it's like, it showed me how like welcome it is in the music industry, period, or how welcome it can be, how welcoming an environment it can be for us as artists to really just kind of stand and make the music that we desire to make, or like make the music that's in our hearts. I think that particular album is like something that was in her heart, and she did it in a way that was true to her. And it just goes to show, like, there's a market for what's in your heart, especially for those of us who are independent artists. And I believe that Ray is able to, Ray's at a point where she's independent, and so, also able to do what she did, probably because of the success that she had before she was independent. But point is, there is a market for the stuff that's in our heart, and that's what that album proved to me. So super inspiring for me. Oh, nice question. Okay, so Evian, I hope I'm saying your name correct. What about whistle tone? Is it too high? How is it possible to make whistle tone? Okay, I don't know a ton about it. And then Jane Ellie, real quick, Lifeboat and Nightingale Lane, the artist is Ray, Raye. Okay, she's my favorite. Yes. So what about whistle tone? So I don't know a ton about whistle tone. I'll tell you that. But what I do know is it requires like a very focused, it's a very tiny sound. At least my whistle tone at this point is a very tiny sound. I don't know if down the road it gets bigger, but it's like a very tiny targeted sound, and it happens here. It happens here, at least for me. Okay. And the I don't feel comfortable explaining it. I'm very sorry. Whistle tone is it's a niche technique that I don't have mastery of just yet. So I don't want to explain it wrong. I know what I'm doing when I do it, and I'm still training my whistle tone, but I don't know if it's across the board. Okay, I'm not sure if it's across the board. I do know that I have an easier time doing it when I am hoarse. I have an easier time accessing my whistle tone when I'm feeling a little hoarse. Oh, cool, Daniel, you know about it. Cool. And you can make it big. Okay, cool. So it's not like a microphone thing, right? Because I feel like a lot of times when people do their whistle tone, they're amplified. So it's not a mic thing. You're welcome. It's not a mic thing. You can actually make it big. So interesting. So interesting. I definitely want to master whistle tone. I want to master whistle tone. It's such a cool thing to be able to do. But yeah, I think that's one of those things. Yeah. As I figure it out, I'll be more forthcoming about that one. Any other questions? Any other questions? Anything intriguing you musically right now that you'd like to share or like some insight on? If I have the insight, I will share it, right? I am not the sort of music content creator or, social media coach who has to have an answer for everything. Some things I do not know how they work. I don't know how they work yet. Like, for instance, sometimes people will get on live and they'll ask me about like heavy metal screams. I don't know. I have no idea how to do a metal scream. I don't know. Okay, cool. Mine started small and squeaky, but over the years, I can control the volume output, especially when I'm sick. It's really sharp. Yes, okay. That helps me to know that I'm on the right track. Thank you for sharing that. Perfect. So yeah, mine is small and squeaky right now. And mine is stronger when I'm sick. So that's very comforting for me. Thank you. Thank you for sharing that. But yeah, so what was the last thing I was saying? Yeah, people ask me things on stream sometimes, and I'm like, to be completely honest, I don't know. Right? I am not afraid to say that I don't know how to do something. But what I do know how to do, I'm happy to share. My specialties, so to say, right? I should say, because I don't know if I've ever shared this with you all, right? But like I guess you would call them specialties. My specialties would be, like R&B, soul, pop, gospel, CCM, jazz, and classical. I can teach classical as well. I can teach a beginner classical music. Like if you don't know how to if you don't know any classical technique, I can show you that. Absolutely. But I think those are my mains. I'll put it that way. Those are my mains. Do you have any tips for pitch correction? Being able to be on pitch more consistently, especially when I sing higher or lower notes. How is your breath support? I need help with runs. My note delineation is not crisp how I need it. Okay, I'm going to ask you the same question. How is your breath support? How is your breath support? Let me know. Describe it to me if you can. How does your breathing feel? Do you feel supported when you start to singing? Okay, because hi Nick. Yeah. Do you feel supported as you sing? Because believe it or not, your breath control, or your breath support, I should say, not your breath control, your breath support has a lot to do with whether or not you sing accurately. Like, I can tell you, there have been so many times, just from experience, and just from my experience teaching others, where something was singing something and it's not coming out clean. And I'm talking about pitch wise, and in the case of runs and having, note delineation and all that sort of stuff. Both things will be wonky until the breath support is addressed. Okay, you do feel supported in your breathing. Okay. So then you're taking a substantive breath, and then are you using, like, how, it's kind of hard to answer this particular question without being able to hear you. Speaking of which, I see you, David. Speaking of which, let me tell you, I am taking freak like you who come out and hang out with me on live and stuff like that. I would love to meet you. So if you'd like to do a free Q&A session with me, where I can kind of hear you and get in the virtual room with you, so to speak, and answer your questions more comprehensively, definitely schedule a Q&A session with me. The goal of that session is to give you any advice that you need, and then also introduce you to, what the Robin's Nest does and what will be available to you to help you master whatever music goals that you have. So, like I said, I would love to meet you. The link to book your Q&A session should be in the description if you're watching me on YouTube. If you're watching me on Insta or TikTok, DM me and I will send you the link myself. It looks like I'm freezing. I'm freezing on the thing. Okay, I'm looking. So, I feel supported in my breathing, I think. How do I tell? So, if you breathe and take a breath in, right? You should feel expansion in your upper abdomen, your rib cage, and your back. Okay? Then, as you sing, right? You should feel there's like a firmness in your upper abdomen, right? And your rib cage will remain expanded, or it should, and your back will remain expanded as you sing. So as you release the air, your body is not collapsing and your air is not shooting out of your mouth. Like, there should be like a pressure that you feel, I would say between your upper abdomen and like your neck, like your glottis, or like where your vocal folds are. Right? So if you're feeling that pressure, and it shouldn't be like uncomfortable, it should be very like comfortable but supported. But if you're feeling that pressure, then you know that your support is happening well. And then Jane Nilly, from the diaphragm, what does that mean? Maybe you could train with piano the pitch. Yes, you can train your pitch with piano. You can also train your pitch with a pitch reader. So if you have like a tuner, just know that tuners are extremely sensitive. And so even if you are like a hair off, it's going to tell you that you're off, right? But the benefit of it is that if you recognize and you go into it knowing that a pitch reader is very sensitive, it will help you with your pitch over time, because you can start to see a visual of how on or how off you are consistently. So yeah, you can train with piano, singing along with the notes of the piano, trying to get right in the center of the note of the sound. You can use a pitch or a tuner, or a pitch, I guess you just call it a tuner. But they're one of my very good friends who actually teaches perfect pitch. He put me on to this app on my iPad. It's just called Pitch. I like it a lot. And it just helps you it gives you a great visual for just testing whether or not you are on pitch. So yeah, yes. But I think that the first line of defense is making sure that you're breathing properly, making sure that you're producing your sound with adequate support. But then if you're still finding that you're pitchy, I think that doing your practice with a piano and or doing your practice with a pitch reader or pitch finder, or however you say it, a tuner, could be helpful as well. Just remember that it's extremely sensitive, so don't let it hurt your feelings. Just you'll have a visual for it. Let's see. Can breath support also be a key factor in vocal fatigue? Yes. If you're not supporting your sound, you're probably not singing like from the right spot, right? So, if you're taking shallow breaths, for instance, then I would bet anything that you're probably singing, from the throat as well. But yeah, you need your breath. Breathing is very important. I mean, my stomach expands outward when I take a breath. That's how I was taught a long time ago. Yeah, your tummy will expand when you take a breath. And then when you start to sing, that expansion should remain. Like it's almost like you're holding everything open while you exhale, right? So it's about just not letting your body collapse, holding your posture in a way that's going to help you maintain that expansion and that like liftedness when you breathe. Diaphragm, use your diaphragm. You can't use your diaphragm. Your diaphragm is involuntary. You can't do anything with your diaphragm any more than you can do anything with your heart, right? But you can influence the diaphragm, and that's where your upper abdominal muscles come into play, et cetera, et cetera. So I think that the anatomy is actually important. I think that it is important that we don't just say breathe from your stomach or throw around the word diaphragm. You know what I'm saying? I am freezing a lot today. I'm not sure why. Can opening your nostrils while singing release more of your overtones and free your true voice? I have never heard of that line of thinking before. That's a very interesting thing. I don't think that that would be good to experiment with. Yeah, experiment with that and see if it changes how the vocal is released for you. Am I frozen? Can somebody please tell me if I'm frozen? I don't think I'm frozen on I'm not frozen on YouTube, but for some reason I'm frozen on Instagram, it looks like. I don't know why. Okay, do you have any tips on how to emote better while maintaining vocal quality at the same time? Because when I sing, it kind of sounds expressionless at times. Okay, is it Rihanna? Let's see. So, how do you emote better when maintain vocal quality at the same time? Interesting. Okay, so it's like you feel that when you start to emote, you lose your placement, or like your mouth shape suffers, or whatever have you. I'm not frozen right now. Okay. Well, that's good. That's good. But yeah, fill me in. Give me some more context. So when you sing with emotion, do you lose your placement, etc.? Okay, got you. Okay. Okay. So I think my first inclination would be to try to think of the connection between your technique and the emotion. Like what's the emotion that the lyrics are requiring from me, and how can I express that emotion in a way that locks in with the technique? Okay, so I think that it would be good to think about it that way. And then secondly, I want to ask, do you practice in a mirror? Do you practice in a mirror? Let me know. Do you practice in the mirror? That's a great idea, if not. So start practicing in the mirror. Start practicing in the mirror so you can see yourself. And that way you can start to choose what kinds of emotions you want to express, or what kinds of facials you want to have as you sing. In a way that's locked in with your technique, right? So it's kind of building. So what's the technique? How do I lock the emotion in with the technique, right? How can I express this emotion through the technique, right? As opposed to thinking about them as two separate things, right? And then I do think that you absolutely should practice in the mirror. Practice in the mirror That way you can see your own face. You can start to memorize the feeling that you look, right? But I think too, you gotta be putting in reps. You have to be putting in reps with that emotion. So I'm sorry, you have to be putting in reps while emoting, right? So I know you're practicing, but I think that the next step forward would be, like I said, locking the lyrics in with the technique. See if you see what's the way that you can send the emotions through the technique, right? Also, you might be in a situation where maybe the emotion is better expressed with the eyes than it is with the mouth. That could be it. Maybe you need to express the emotion with your hands and not with the mouth. Maybe it's a stance thing. Maybe it's so there are many options in terms of how to express and how to emote the emotions that you're singing. But number one, try to unite the technique with the emotion. That's number one. Number two, practice in the mirror so you can see how you look when you sing. And then number three, you need to be getting reps in. You need to be doing this repeatedly. Every single time you sing, you need to be singing with your mind engaged in the lyrics so that you can emote the song. Yeah. Okay. Good question. I think I missed a question. Okay, from David. Okay. Are some vowels harder to sing for male singers and easier for female singers? That's an interesting question too. I don't know if there are vowels that are more difficult due to gender. I don't think so. I know that vowels have different categories, right? So you either got open vowels, closed vowels, and then like a mixture of the two. So oohs. Hello, Soul Candy. Oohs are always going to be easy. On the voice. I would say oohs, ahs, uhs are always going to be easier. E's, a's, as get a little difficult. But that's across the board. I don't know if there's any, gendered thing with vowels. I haven't heard it anyhow. Thank you for the heart. Thank you for the likes. Appreciate you. Queen C. All right, y'all. Any other questions? Any other questions? Any other things y'all would like to discuss before I skedaddle? Before I skedaddle and get into the rest of my very musical day. If not, let me just remind you again that I am opening my calendar for Q&A sessions. They're free. And essentially the purpose of them is just to make sure that all the ways that the Robin's Nest can be helpful to you in your music goals. I would love to meet you. I would love to talk to you about what it is that you are setting out to do musically. And I would love to introduce you to all the ways that the Robin's Nest can help. And at the very least, like say there's nothing, I offer so many resources, but let's say, you decide not to jump into anything with the Robin's Nest. My goal ultimately is to make sure that you have a way forward with the goals that you have. So if you're watching me on YouTube, the link to book a Q&A session with me should be in the description. If you're watching me on Instagram or TikTok, send me a DM right now and I will send you the link so that you can book. Okay, and then we can get together. Do you do private lessons? I am a coach, but would love someone to take a look. Yes, I do. Yes, I absolutely do. Yes, I absolutely do. I think that would be a great time. I think that would be a great thing for us to get together and talk about Soul Candy. So definitely book a Q&A session with me. Send me a DM and I'll send you the link so you can book it. Then we can talk about what that will look like. Nick, what is the most difficult thing to teach as a vocal coach? Wow. What is the most difficult thing to teach? Oh, I'll tell you what it is. And this is going to sound super corny, but it's true. The most difficult thing to teach as a vocal coach is self-belief. It is self-belief. It is hands down self-belief because I'm telling you, singing is such a mental thing. And we don't even realize how much our mind gets in the way. And so it is the one thing that will stop you every time, the one thing that will lock you up and introduce tension, the one thing that will make you not able to hit the notes you want to hit, and it'll cause your performances to suffer, is the way that you are thinking about your voice. It's the way that you're thinking about your voice. The moment you think in your head, I cannot do XYZ, this is too hard, I don't know if I'm gonna sound good when I do XYZ ABC, the moment you start thinking like that, right? And so to get somebody to think well consistently, that's the hardest thing. And unfortunately, it affects the consistency of everything else that you do, right? Because the moment your head gets in the way, you know, I think also too, self-belief outside of the lesson space, right? To get to the point where your student is confident away from you, huge milestone, huge milestone. But depending on the person, that can be one of that's one of the things that takes the longest to come in. All right. So I feel like I can show you how to stand. I can show you how to hold your mouth. I can show you, I can give you vowel modifications. I can show you how to breathe. I can show you how to, hold your head. I can give you so much advice and tips and pointers, and we can see a night and day difference in the moment. That's happened plenty of times. I can't even put a number on it. Plenty of times in my sessions. But I would say, yeah, the most difficult thing is to teach, because if I could get inside of my students' brains, if I could like jump in the pilot seat and just turn the knobs and push all the buttons and things like that, I would, but I can't. So it really does depend on the student to get to the point where they're thinking about themselves and their voice and the act of singing in the right way. Yeah, great question. That's a good one to end on too. That's a great one to end on too. All right, cool, y'all. So this was a really nice Q&A session. Next Monday, we'll be back doing some vocal warm-ups together. But we do have 2 other Robin's Nest live sessions this week, so you can definitely join me. Wednesday, we're going to do some ear training. And Friday, we're going to do some vocal agility training. And Friday, we are going to practice idea mastery. I'm excited about this one because I have an idea on how I'm going to teach it, and I'm very excited to show it to you all. So that's Friday. But Wednesday we do ear training, and then next Monday we'll be doing some vocal warm-ups together. That's so interesting. I always feel like I sing really well when my teacher's in the room. Yeah. Yes. If you have a good rapport with your teacher, that's like gold. That is gold, because if your teacher makes you feel comfortable and capable, then that means that you're hearing yourself be comfortable and capable. You're hearing what your voice is capable of on a regular basis if your teacher brings that out of you. So then the next step is memorizing. Okay, what does it feel like when I'm with my teacher? Or what? Not even like, the point is not with my teacher. The point is, what do I feel like when I sing this from a very comfortable and confident space? If you memorize those sensations, you'll be more likely to replicate them, in public. And if you have a lot of reps on those sensations, you'll be able to replicate them more and more and more in public. But yeah, you can absolutely get in your own way in the pursuit of that. Yeah. No, I did not. No, I did not say IPA mastery. But that brought up a term that I have not heard in so long. IPA. IPA was the bane of my high school and college life. Having to put all the lyrics in IPA. And for those of you who don't know, what is it? The IPA is the International Pronunciation something. Did I get it right? International Pronunciation A. What? Can you please remind me what the A is? And if I have the international pronunciation thing right, Because Nick is, Nick is phonetic. Jeez, International Phonetic Alphabet. So I was wrong. But yes, International Phonetic Alphabet. That is how we can learn to pronounce things in different languages. We use IPA to make it clear how every word in every language is supposed to be pronounced. And everybody across the languages recognizes this alphabet as teaching how to pronounce things. Yeah, and so in high school especially, and in college, as I was learning songs in Italian, French, and German, we had to do IPA. We had to break down, we had to translate every word of every song, but we also had to put every word in IPA as well. And it was great. Just great. A great experience. Great, what's the word I'm looking for? Yeah, I guess experience is the word I'm looking for. I'm always trying to find another word. I gotta work on that. But yes. Anyhow, no, I did not say IPA mastery, but I don't remember what I said that rhymed with IPA mastery. I don't remember what point I was making when you thought I said that. But anyhow, this was a good Q&A session, y'all. I'm gonna scoot, but I hope to see you on Wednesday or Friday or both at noon. And until then, take great care of your voices. Keep training your ears, and I'll see y'all. I'll catch you on the flip a dip.